My name is Feza. I'm a student in the Bachelor of Arts program with College for America at Southern New Hampshire University. And I'm conducting this interview as part of my academic work. With your consent, I will record this interview and use the information in the script interview video. I'm working on to contribute to society project. The interview will be used to create a script interview video and submit it to College for America so that my project can be evaluated. This recording will be used to serve for this purpose. The interview information will be temporarily stored in the College for America online evaluation system to which only the evaluator and College for America staff will have access. Do you have any questions?
No.
Do you give your consent to be interviewed and recorded?
Yes. I am ready to give my informed consent to participate in this interview, to be recorded and used as part of the student academic work.
Thank you, Amari. I'm going to ask you some questions. Are you ready? What are the three branches of government? What does each branch do? Democrats and Republicans are the major parties. Can you name a third part? What is the basic process by which a bill becomes a law? Thank you, Amari, to participate in this interview. Hi, Janine.
Hi.
My name is Feza. I'm a student in the Bachelor of Arts program with College for America at Southern New Hampshire University. And I'm conducting this interview as part of my academic work. With your consent, I will record this interview and use the information in a script interview video. I'm working on to contribute to society project. The interview will be used to create a script interview video and submitted to College for America so that my project can be evaluated. This recording will be used solely for this purpose. The interview information will be temporarily stored in the College for America online evaluation system to which only the evaluator and College for America staff will have access. Do you have any questions? Do you give your consent to be interviewed and recorded?
I, Janelle Vanessa, I give my informed consent to participate in this interview to be recorded and used as part of the student academic work.
Thank you, Janine. I'm going to ask you some questions. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Thank you. Do you have what are the three branches of government?
I don't.
What does each branch do? Democrats and Republicans are the major parties. Can you name a third part? What is the basic process by which a bill becomes a law? Thank you, Janine, for participating in this interview.
Hello everyone, my name is Feza. I'm going to present a project called Government and You. I finished to ask two people the questions in street. The question that I asked them are, what are the three branches of government? What does each branch do? Democrats and Republicans are the major parts. Can you name the third part? And what is the basic process by which a bill becomes a law? So I'm going to start telling you the answers about this question and the really answer of these questions. As I said, the first question was this: what are the three branches of government? The first person answered that she doesn't know the answer, and the second person said that she doesn't know the answer. Through the research that I made, I found that three branches of government are executive, legislative, and judicial. Executive. I'm going to start talking about executive. The executive branch is a branch of government which carries out and enforces laws. It includes the president, vice president, the cabinet, executive department, independent agencies, and other board, commission, and committees. Legislative. The legislative branch is a branch of government which drafts proposed laws, confirms or rejects presidential nomination for heads of federal agencies, federal judge, and the Supreme Court, and has the authority to declare war. Some for judicial. The judicial branch is a branch of government which interprets the meaning of laws, applies laws to individual cases, and decides if laws violate the Constitution. It consists of the Supreme Court and other federal courts. So here there is a law of each branch of government. Executive branch implement and enforcing the laws written by Congress. Legislative branch make the law, and judicial branch interpret the laws. Move for the second question, which was, what does each branch do? For this question, the first person answered that she doesn't know the answer, and the second person said that she doesn't know the answer. Through formal research and observation, executive branch implement and enforcing the laws written by Congress. It carries out laws. President, Vice President, Cabinet, most federal agents. In addition, executive branch makes sure that laws are enforced and allocate necessary funding. The executive branch is held by the president in all forms of democracy. Some responsibilities of the executive branch include implementing and enforcing laws and appointing the head of various federal agencies. Also, duties of executive branch include commanding the armed force, acting as the state's representative while meeting international powers. Legislative branch make the law. It makes laws. Congress, House of Representatives, and Senate. In addition, legislative branch writes and passed legislation laws. The legislative is composed of the Senate or Parliament and at state levels of state legislature. Responsibility of legislative branch is to make the laws to govern the country. Their duties also include managing the affairs of state, including finance, foreign affairs, law and order, approving treaties. Move for judicial branch. Judicial branch interpret the laws. The judicial branch includes criminal and civil courts and helps interpret the United States Constitution. In addition, evaluates the laws passed by the legislative branch and determines whether they comply with the Constitution. The judicial branch is headed by the Supreme of Federal Court and also contains other lower courts. This means that the judicial branch is responsible for evaluating the laws formed by the government. Duties of judicial branch include interpretation of the Constitution, review of laws, and deciding matters related to the state's affairs. Each branch of government should change acts of the other branches. The President can veto legislation created by Congress and nominates heads of federal agencies. Congress confirms or rejects the President's nominees. The Justice of the Supreme Court, who can overturn unconstitutional laws, are nominated by the President and confirmed by the Senate. So I'm going to talk about how are these three branches connected. The three branches are connected because at the top is the executive branch. The two bottom corners are the judicial branch and the legislative branch, also called Congress. Each part of the government is connected to the other. Each branch has its responsibilities and powers. Executive branch implements and enforcing the laws written by Congress. The legislative branch makes the law, and the judicial branch interprets the law. A system of checks and balances prevents one branch from gaining too much power. The President's powers are limited in the system of checks and balances. As the leader of the executive branch, the President ensures the enforcement of the laws in our country. Move for the third question, which was saying that democracy and republicans are the major parts. Can you name a third part? The first person answered that she doesn't know the answer, and the second person said that she doesn't know the answer. Through the research that I made, third part refers to any part other than the major two, which are Democratic and Republican parties at present. In modern United States elections, the two major parties are the Democratic and Republican parties. These parties are associated with liberal and conservative views respectively, and nearly all elected officials are affiliated with one of the two. So the third part is called liberal. The libertarian part supports laissez-faire policies, small government, and is characterized by being social, liberal, and fiscally conservative. Barriers to third party success include a winner-take-all election format, ballot access law, debate rules, and the vast resource of the two major parties. So move for the last question, which was saying that what is the basic process by which a bill becomes a law? The first is the creation of a bill. For this process, members of the House or Senate draft, sponsor, and introduce bills for consideration by Congress. The second is committee action. For this process, a committee is required to run the bill according to its subject matter. The third process is full action. For this process, the bill is returned to the full House or Senate for further debate and approval. The next process is vote. House and Senate members elect on their respective versions of the proposed bill. The next process is conference committees. For this process, a bill must be approved by both chambers of Congress. The next process is presidential action. For this process, after the bill is passed by both chambers, it is sent to the president for his approval or his signature, which if granted, creates a public law. The next is the creation of a law. For this process, the Office of Federal Register assigns the public law a number. Debate is limited by the rules formulated in the Rules Committee. The committee decides how much time to allot to each person. The bill is voted on. If passed, it is then sent to the other chamber unless that chamber already has a similar measure under consideration. Debate is guided by the sponsoring committee and time is divided equally between proponent and opponent. Thank you to participate in this video.
Hi, my name is Chantal. I'm student in Bachelor of Arts program in College for America at Southern New Hampshire University. I'm conducting this interview as a part of my academic work. I will record this interview and use the information in article I'm writing for a research project. The article and the recorded interview will be submitted to College for America so that my work as an interviewer or writer can be evaluated. The recording will be used for salary for this purpose. The interview information will be temporarily stored in College for America online evaluation system, to which only the evaluator and College for America staff will have access. Do you have any questions? Do you give your consent to be interviewed and recorded?
I, Heshman Abebe, give my consent to participate in this interview to be recorded and used as a part of the student academic evaluation.
Thank you. I have 10 questions that I'm going to ask you. Those questions will be focused on how telephone and smartphone. So I know that you have smartphone. So my first question, does now people use telephone more than smartphone?
No, most of the people nowadays they are using smartphones more than
Okay. This means that in your village or where you live, there are a large number of people who are using smartphone than telephone.
Of course, teenagers are the most one who like to use different medias while using smartphones. Since you know that with phones you can navigate through medias, and with smartphones you can. And this is the reason why I say most of the people nowadays they are using smartphones more than.
Before moving on the second question, can you please speak louder so that I can get you easily? So the second one is how are they differ? I need the difference between telephone and smartphone in terms of working.
Yes, thank you. Let me start with telephones because the ones who came before. Telephones, people can call another without only call and receiving call without using medias. But with smartphones, people can go on doing different research by searching different news or around all over the world. They can use it with like they can go in and search the news with smartphones, but and they can call someone with a video call with smartphone, not with phone.
I understand that smartphone have a big role than telephone. So the following question, does smartphone replace telephone?
Yes, I can say yes. Smartphones are the best phones. This is because, as an example, a typical example I can give you, in our quarter, many people are using smartphones more than phones because you can count people who are using phones are less than 10 in our country. So that is the reason why, like, is an example that can show you how the smartphone replaced the phone.
I understand that people in your village used to make research, advertising using smartphone.
Yes.
Uh, I didn't get you well how smartphone replace telephone.
Yes, I can say smartphones replace telephones because you can, most of the people here in our village or here in our camp, they have their family members who fight in the US, yes, who went in the US, and they can chat with them by while using smartphones so that they can know their information and they can call them with hangouts or they can chat with them through hangouts and they can call them via video call. And with smartphones, people used to search different information. And smartphones replace phones because people found it that with phones they cannot get more information around the world since they are not they are not in all of countries in the world. But with smartphone you can stay on one place but you can get all information what are updated about the world.
From your approach, I come up with another question. So I understand that smartphone is really important in the help people to know different information with people that they are live different place, you know, chatting, using hangouts like birds, social media, and I'm asking if smartphone shouldn't exist, what the negative impact should happen.
Yes, for sure. If the smartphones are not exist, you can understand yourself what can happen. Because if you can chat with your mates, your friends, your family member, and with smartphone, without smartphone, you can have lack of information of your neighbor, your family member, and you can't make a video call with people. And without smartphone, people are not, as I said, with smartphone you can sit on you can stay on a given place and you can learn more about what's happening in present what's happening around the world. But without smartphone, with phones only, you cannot get the information.
I understand that if smartphone shouldn't exist, there is new information from other countries or I mean that you can't get information
Yes.
outside your village.
Yes.
So the following question, what you come up with negative impact that should happen when smartphone shouldn't exist, and also I would like to know, does people know how to them?
Yes, most of people know how to use the smartphones because, as I said before, most of them are the youth, and as we are using technology at school, we learn more how to use the smartphones. And if you are a child, you can teach your parents, your siblings how to use telephone smartphones.
Thank you for your information. To know that in your village or where you live before, people really have skills of using smartphones. So, of course, as you told me before, telephone telephone. People use telephone, but nowadays people use smartphone more than using telephone. And then I'm wondering that sometimes they can meet with challenge. So I would like to know some challenges that those people use to face.
Who are they?
People who use smartphone.
Thank you. The people who using smartphones are meet with different challenges because first of using them, they really they didn't know how to use them. The first challenges they met is to how to navigate through the information, how to make things research, and if I need to call someone, how I can call him. For instance, my parents. Before, my mom, she was not able to use a smartphone, especially to call someone in prison. But really now she knows to use it.
It means that people used to approach neighbors, siblings, so that they can know how to use smartphone, and they come up with those challenges. So, what are the I understand that there are many strategies that you can use to overcome those challenges. Also, I would like to know your recommendation to those people who nowadays using smartphones like that. I would like to recommend them.
Yes. Thank you as a recommendation to people who are using smartphones nowadays. They because they do more research about different things around the world. They don't need to enter in politics because if it is not ethical, they can use them by improving uh, their standard of living in their family. They can use them as I said they can use them while making different research about academic related, and they cannot using their smartphones in the things that can bring to them the different difficult or different outcomes or difficult outcomes to them.
This means that they should know if I can use my internet connection to research important things without wasting those money doing nothing.
Yes.
So I appreciate the way you shared with me the information, and then I appreciate your time. So thank you very much.
Thank you too.